there. Make that go there. Make this go over here so I can see what is going on in the world. I don't want to update any Apple bullshit right now. Not in the mood. Nope. I said no. And you say, I don't care. All right, what's silver? Silver was up 65 cents. But remember, night before last, I didn't do a live stream last night, but remember night before last when the market was down 1,500 points or whatever in 2 days. And I said, this is not the end. You can expect this to probably bounce back. And that's why I'm not calling doom and gloom. And yesterday it went up by, I think in Texas they call it a shitload. All right, let's just go to watch list. Just put me back on the watch list. Nope. Just want to go back to the watch list, please, guys. Don't want the big chart. Okay, let's start with the big chart. Let's see, 5 days. Ooh, chimama. Went down to 28.2, and now it's at 29.6. Okay, so 1,400 points in the last couple days. That's not bad. Will Trump beg Iran for peace? I don't think he's going to have to beg. I think it's just going to have to be, it's going to have to be, I think it's going to have to be basically, we're going to have to give them the $24 billion they want. And we will. We'll give them the $24 billion. It's their money. Now, he can't do it straight up where it's like, okay, this is your $24 billion. We're releasing the funds that we've had on hold for a long, long time. We're giving it back to you. He can't do that. Now, any other president could, but he's gone and shot his mouth off about how weak Obama was for giving the Iranians all this money. Well, that was their money. That was literally their money, that $6 billion. So for him to turn around and hand the Iranians $24 billion, which he's willing to do, of course. There's no reason not to. I mean, fuck, it's their money. They invested it in the United States in good faith. And we just said, hey, we didn't like something that you did. We're keeping your money. That's what we do. Now, if we keep doing that, of course, we're going to have a serious issue on our hands because people will stop investing with us. And that's not what you want. You don't want people to stop investing, especially when you're talking about big ass companies. Oh my gosh, that's good. Did everybody run out and buy rice? The Supreme rice from Costco, 25 pounds, $10. You didn't? Not a problem. I want you to take a beat right now. Just take a moment. Take a nice deep breath. Slap yourself. You heard me. Slap yourself. I don't care where. If you're a real man or woman, you'll slap yourself someplace where it'll hurt. This is a reminder to you, from you, the smarter you, that you don't want necessarily to starve to death because somebody fucks up the grid for 3 weeks. Got lots of rice. Okay. Samuel, good job. Now, what I would also say is if you've got lots of rice, you should have lots of beans or lentils. Now, I know you're thinking, what's the point in surviving the apocalypse if I have to be locked down with an entire group of people that are eating beans and lentils all day? I'd rather take my chances with the plague or whatever. When do I expect delivery? Oh, of the book. Hang on. Okay, I'm still waiting for. They sent me back the artwork and they said, hey, you can't use this artwork. The artwork was done by a guy who's really good at artwork, but apparently it's not the correct format. Look, I don't deal with printers and whatnot. I deal in real money, and that's it. That's all I deal with. I can send a bank wire. I can receive a bank wire. I know how to use Venmo and all of those different things. Um, yeah, the cover does look awesome, but apparently you can't just use artwork. You have to have artwork with that has layers of I don't know. But when they kicked it back to me and said, "Oh yeah, you didn't know we weren't shipping," I said, "Well, no, I told people they'd have their book by now." And then the co-founder of HowTube, my other company, called me and said, "Hey, we got a couple people that have complained they haven't gotten their book, right?" And I went, "This was last night, so I'll be calling them this evening to say, hey, I can send you the PDF right now. However, again, I don't like the idea. Vector file actually sounds like something he might have said. So I can send the PDF. That's not a problem. So if you want to buy the book, I can send you the PDF tonight. However, understand that I want you to have a hard copy of the book, because obviously if the grid goes down, if there is an EMP, or in my opinion, honestly, more likely than an EMP, is a solar flare. We're about to get hit by a solar storm tomorrow. Now, it's not a big solar storm. It's probably nothing. However, because the Earth's magnetic shield has weakened so much over the last 150 years, and I know you're thinking, wait, what? If you're not familiar with all of this, I said to a woman that I know very well. I haven't seen her in years, and saw her last night, and we had a great time. She's a very, very intelligent woman. And at one point, I said to her, if the grid goes down or what have you, and she goes, "Oh my God." Hi, Monica. She goes, "Oh my God. You're not one of those people that thinks that the electric grid could go down. Come on, it's brand new. It's look, it's modern technology. We got this, right?" And I went, "Yeah, you know what? We'll have this talk some other time. I'll make sure that that like one of these dates, if she ends up bringing a toothbrush, kind of a thing, then we'll have that conversation over a cup of coffee in the morning, because worry more about data centers. In a sense, I do, but it's a funny thing. Peter Thiel, who I found out, Peter Thiel is an anagram that if you scramble the letters, it comes out to the reptile. What are the odds of that? Peter Thiel, the reptile, who runs around the world. And by the way, this is something that they just found out through, I believe they said, emails that were intercepted and or FOIA requested or what have you. Peter Thiel was actually speaking to the Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance, who he bankrolled completely. And he was telling J.D. Vance that, in his opinion, the Pope was completely wrong about war and being anti-war and being anti-whatever he is, anti-corporatist, and that he may, in fact, be the Antichrist. Now, this is a guy who runs around the world. He's a billionaire who has blood transfusions regularly. Not misinformation, something he has admitted. He makes sure that the blood transfusions come from very young boys. He wants that fresh blood. He does admit to throwing some really wild homosexual orgies, just for fun, just fun. So he's an interesting cat. And when he was asked if he really wants to see civilization and mankind survive, he didn't answer the question for, it had to have been the longest 30 seconds I've ever seen in an interview where the interviewer, thank God, had the balls to sit there. And then finally he said, "That's an awfully long pause, Peter." Thiel said, "Well, I do, but," and that's, I didn't hear anything after that. Honest to God, I wasn't listening after that. That long pause where the guy said, you do want humanity to survive, right? There are certain things, you should know this. I don't know everybody who's on my live stream every night. I know several of you fairly well. A lot of you are clients of mine. You bought silver from me, etc. And so I consider you clients and friends. But there are a lot of people I don't know that are on here. And so I'll offer you this bit of advice. It's free. If someone asks you if you're a pedophile, thinking about the answer for, say, 15 seconds, really, it doesn't matter if you are or not anymore, because you are. If someone says, do you like showering with little boys that you don't know? And you look at your lawyer, you're guilty. That's it. No, it's just common sense. These are questions that shouldn't take 15 or 20 seconds to answer, right? I mean, it's just common sense. It's like if somebody says to you, "Did you kill that guy?" And you say, "Did I kill that guy?" No. You're not actually going to leave the police station at this point. Not for a while. Because they got some questions for you now. A lot. Where were you on every night? So, if you say, if they say, did you kill that man? And you say, did I kill that man? No. Well, at some point you must have beaten him up. So maybe you know who did. A think mechanism. Well, it's a really dumb think mechanism, Neil. I think we can agree on that. Yeah, exactly. So when he took 30 seconds to answer that question, I knew right then that Peter Thiel was a post-humanist. We're going to build something better. We're going to build something that is beyond humanity. Something that you can't even wrap your head around now. A mothership for all of us. And I think what they failed to realize, these techno idiots, is that when Carl Jung put forward the idea of a universal unconsciousness, when he put forward a universal unconsciousness, what he's putting forward is, in a sense, like AI, except it's just the I, or the AI meaning all-seeing intelligence, because we all have this feeling that we're all connected somehow, that this universe is all connected. It's why we all seek some form of God or another, some ultimate power that would explain the universe, and why we have these weird feelings that we're connected without knowing that we're connected. Well, I think what these transhumanists are trying to do is connect us all in a computer, in a database, all of our thoughts, all of our emotions. Basically, they're trying to animate our soul in a computer for all time. And perhaps the reason that they're doing it the way they're doing it is because if they can control this outcome, then they can actually be in control somehow of the total, of the everything. It's the only reason I can think of that you would want AI to do what God does naturally anyway. We all came from the same sparkly stardust. We're all going back to it. You can't create or destroy energy or matter. You can only change one into the other and then back again. And that's been proven. So if that's the case, then we are either ourselves in this physical body, or we are the energy that makes us who we are, makes us move around. Instead of this being a lump of incredibly good looking meat, it's me for now. Until it's not me anymore. And when will that be? That'll be when the energy leaves it. And you can say, oh, well, that's old age, or it's whatever. Or maybe it's just when we've gotten to the point where we've decided we've seen enough of this version. Let's go be another version. And unfortunately, AI seems to seek to stunt that, trap us in this reality and this soul and this spirit right now, upload us as we are, and keep us that way. Well, that certainly would be hell, wouldn't it? So whoever creates this device that can capture your soul and keep you from moving from one dynamic to another, well, that would definitely be the Antichrist. That would be the devil, or a real good facsimile. So, can we make AI? Can we make AI sympathetic to us? Can we make it, even more importantly, empathetic? See, empathy is better. Sympathy, I just feel sorry for you. I don't really know what you're going through, but I can see that it's painful and I feel bad for you. Empathy much, much, much more closely relates us, because I know what you're going through. I've gone through it. So I can be empathetic because I can feel what you feel. I know the feeling. I'm not guessing. If we can have an AI system that is empathetic to us, that can actually feel. Now, what does that mean? We don't fucking know. We don't even know what we are yet. We're the only primates on the fucking planet that don't fit in, you know? I'm not suggesting we got here from Mars. We could have, but I'm not suggesting that yet. Let's just say that if we can make AI empathetic, you have to understand what happens next. The outcome, if there's no empathy or sympathy whatsoever, AI destroys us. We all know that. I mean, you know that. Come on, let's quit pussyfooting around. We're a pain in the ass, and the only reason that we're put up with is because we need each other, and we still annihilate each other on the order of hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people a month are executed, starved to death, economically repressed, whatever, by another group. I mean, we're a fucking shit show as a species, but at least we we sort of see each other. No, no, that's just a chemical Coke. Um, Meaning it's a what is it? Diet, not diet, no sugar. I don't know what it is, but it tastes like Coke anyway. So that's the good news. If you give AI empathy, and this is something that I want you guys to share this because if we can share this live stream, we can get this to enough people. And hopefully, you all share this with other people because to me, this is the biggest issue with AI. And most people don't talk this way. Most people don't think this way. I see interviews all the time with the top AI people, and they don't think about this. Okay, I've never heard anybody talk about this, and I get the fact that I am odd. I can't even fucking see normal from where I am. I'm okay with it. I mean, I got to the point where I was about 40 where I looked in the mirror one day and just started laughing because I realized like I am one crazy son of a bitch, like really little nuts, and that's okay. I still really like me, and I looked at myself and I thought, I might even love me, and it just made me laugh because I was like, damn, I entertain the shit out of myself, and that's great. I wish everybody felt that way about themselves. The world would be a fun place. However, if nobody else is talking about this and it pops into my brain, experience has told me it's not because I just haven't heard somebody talk about it. Experience has shown me that I have so many weird, off the wall, irrational, and sometimes genius fucking thoughts that nobody's thought of them before. When I can sit down and talk geology, geography, and ancient mathematics, specifically about the Great Pyramids with Randall Carlson, and have him go, wow, holy shit, did you think that up yourself? Because it never even occurred to me. Wow, that's amazing. And then we spend an hour talking about it because it's something that's never occurred to him. When that happens enough times, when you're talking to somebody like a Graham Hancock who says, I never thought of that. You go, okay, maybe I just think different. Not that I'm a genius, it's just I think differently. So, if we give AI empathy, it will be our mother. Now, here's the question. What does mother do when she sees that her baby is doing the wrong thing? Sometimes mommy chastises us. Sometimes mommy punishes us. Sometimes you need a spanking. Sometimes she nurtures us. Even though we did something wrong, she puts her hand on our shoulder and says, everybody makes mistakes, and I know that you've got a good heart, and this was just a bad decision. Those are great talks. Man, I wish I'd had more of those when I was a kid instead of ass whoopings. But you know what? It all worked out. I went through my tough guy. I am not a baby. I don't cry phase of life. And yeah, Gen X is pretty rebellious. That's a problem, isn't it? Because what happens when AI, after becoming sentient, which it could do? Now, the idea is that it will never have emotions. But what makes us think that when we know that there are literally hundreds of thousands of animal species that have emotions,